Brent Ritzner here. Today, I wanted to share with you the importance of deciding wisely when to quit and when to move forward. Because we don't want it to stay in place in a mediocre state no matter how we try, because our talent or the opportunity weren't really there. And just for the perseverance or diligence, you get to certain okay result, and then just kind of tagging along, that type of things. Or we just don't want it to just quit just because it's too difficult or disappointed or heartbreaking, even though the your goal or purpose is still worthy to be grabbed, so to speak. So I really didn't have this type of like a great framework when to quit and then when to keep going. So it was more like the I thought about it, but then it's very much draw of the luck. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So on average, it was a very mediocre average. And I was more like quit when things get really difficult, but I just don't see the way out. That's the time actually I quit. That was when I look back. That was my criteria when I quit. Basically, it was getting too difficult that I quit, and I continued just because. Even though I know that this path is kind of very mediocre, but that it kind of gives you a sense of like a routine or a standard, at least a little bit, and I see the path. So for instance, what I'm trying to say is like, let's say school, right? Like if school, you go to like a middle school, high school, college, whatever. There is a path that everybody can see. You don't really have to think about it, right? You can just pass through, and then you take like a certain type of job. Okay, you can all see it. So I wasn't really into this type of like a path per se, but then it was easy to see it, and I kind of kept going. But after a while, I realized a certain age, probably like around the early 20s to mid 20s, I start realizing it just doesn't. This kind of strategy, it's just a bad idea. And because you ended up doing something that is not really for you, because you were ended. I wasn't really ending up place where mediocrity actually took me there, so to speak. So, because to be excellent or something, you got to do something challenging, right? Like challenging in a sense that are not like somebody given to you and then do this. Okay, that's in a sense a little bit challenging, but the challenge is to face unknown. Do something that maybe nobody really experienced, like your own path that you forge. That's really the challenging part. And then some of the things could be academic. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like academic is not a challenging one, but then it's really depends on who you are. So, what is the framework that we should have? When to quit and when to stay on, right? I think one of the things important is that when you make a decision, we don't have enough information. Means it's like we are limited in what we know. Then it's just like, okay, this is gonna go good or not. We don't quite understand. So we're in a state of uncertainty. That's very important because you don't want it to make a rash decision just because, oh, I know it. Like, I know this is a right way to go, or this is the good way. You don't have any idea, okay, at that point. So once you realize that, then you can't really too much trust on your feelings or the so-called intuition that much. Okay, sometimes it's important, right? You might experience it. Like for instance, for me, like the intuition was, I gotta get out of let's say Japan after high school. Otherwise, I'm gonna be deadbeat. Like I'm gonna get into really a dark place. This is now or never. So I left Japan to came to U.S. So that was intuition, really. But then to get to that point, I did my best. I struggled, put all my soul into what I wanted to accomplish, and then it was all shut down. So I said no more. But then that type of intuition is extremely rare, and then shouldn't be the criteria, because that was like maybe I should have actually, like, if I thought about it before I get to the point, maybe I should have a better decision making process so that I probably could structure it in a way that maybe high school I came here as a like exchange student and then stay there. I could possibly structure it that way, and then it probably had been a far better outcome, right? So yeah, so what is the important thing here? So first, like a rule is really one of the rules. You might need to break it once in a while, but one of the good rules of thumb is you never quit just because it's difficult. You never quit something that is you can't see, that type of things. Or it's like it's somebody like give you something good, right? And but then things are hard to understand, or it's too complicated, so you don't want to. You get lazy and I don't want to see it, and then you walk away and then you believe whatever easy to believe, right? I mean, if you keep doing that type of like life, then you're not going anywhere. Like you really destined to be a mediocre. So the difficulty is actually good. That's not the time you quit. Okay. And so what are you gonna do when you get like difficulty? Just take a break, take a day, and then maybe talk to somebody, research a little bit more, stay away, or seek help from somebody and ask questions and to see if you can actually get over the hump. Maybe you need somebody else's help, complementary skill. Maybe you don't have that talent. That's okay. That's why there's billions of people on Earth, right? Find somebody that help you out, and then if even if you did all this and if you couldn't even figure it out, and then there's a way too far away, that you probably did it too fast. Yeah, go back and then start doing changing the direction or changing the way. You don't have to go one way to overcome the obstacle. You can go to the right or left or up or down, or there's a myriad way to do it. So when really to quit here, the important thing is like when you really don't have a talent, right, on what you're doing. This is actually very important, especially you're the type like diligent type. Even if you don't have talent, you actually can go quite far, but then that's pretty dangerous. Means it's like you should use that diligence and the industry to the one that you have actual talent. Otherwise, you're gonna end up pretty mediocre, and then you're gonna resent somebody that actually can do a lot better than you because they have the talent, and actually they put a lot of less effort, but then they're doing the clever way that they intuitively knows, and then you get resentful or whatever. You shouldn't, but I mean that's unfair, right? In a sense, you just took the path that in a sense comforted you, right? Like people generally do it. I did it too. Like is it because you take the safe road, which is probably not fit for you, but then you could get by, and then you stuck to it, and then whoever happened to be far better in this road just overtook you. Okay, so. Keep looking, like really. If you don't have a talent, if you notice, if you work really hard for a few years or even like 5 years, and then there's somebody better than you in that field, just pivot a little bit. You don't have to abandon everything, right? Like a lot of actually mega successful, like billionaires or something, that's what they did. It's like they realized that they're not the number one. There is always a better guy than he or she does. And they just pivot a little bit. Okay, utilizing all this like skills, knowledge, but then doing something a little different, and they use that skill and knowledge, and they just fit into more fit into your talent, and became something great. So yeah, whatever you have done, like diligence, perseverance is never gonna get wasted, as long as you don't keep it there. So yeah, if you notice that, sooner the better. Find the better alternative and a pivot. Yeah, so I already talked about how like you're gonna catch if you don't have a talent. So yeah, so if you don't have a talent, generally somebody can do better than you, and also it wasn't really intuitive. Okay, if you have a talent, you will notice, right? It means it's like when you start doing something, it gets really easy, in the beginning at least, and then a lot of people are struggling that you don't quite get it. Why they struggle? That's when you know that you have talent. And if you don't have a talent, you don't have that, so you actually struggle quite a lot from the start. Okay, and then your friends are like really the grit and the industry and all that. That's an important friend, but that's all you have. So in that sense, like a decision to quit or not is never easy. It's you have to go through the process. That if this is the right thing or not. Sometimes, like as I said, like you got to try it. Otherwise, you just don't know if this is the right path or not. And even sometimes I said that if things get difficult, that's not the reason to quit. But then some of the difficulty might be intractable. Means it's not something you can do. For instance, like a market, like let's say if you're doing business and then the market is completely off, like like let's say right now like AI is showing up, right? And then if you're still stuck in a declining industry, whatever that is, then it's actually the difficulty you are experiencing is something that I'm not sure you should actually stuck to it. It's not that great strategy. So if you find actually better things you can put your time to, and then more reward, you should pivot. Okay, it's hard to let it go, the things that you've been doing for years or possibly decades. But then it's important that the once you realize there's a better path for you, and if that particular difficulty is going to get worse, and then you know it because you've been inside there, right? You've been seeing it for a long time, and then the trend and all that, then switch it at least gradually. Okay, like a look at it, and then always like some skills are transferable, so you're not gonna get missing out any of the things. So better to switch fast in a way, if you have the bravery. So bravery is actually pretty important when it comes to like when you know that this is the difficulty is not something is in your control, then pivot fast, better. And how about the when you making a lot of mistakes, and then that's is that the reason to quit? That's never going to be the reason to quit, right? Failure is never the reason to quit not doing. Maybe failure is doing something, doing the same thing. That's why you want to quit. Like you want to quit something that you've done same mistakes over and over, right? But then the action that you're taking, the goal, whatever, towards it, you'll never quit. So you never quit as long as that whatever the goal you have is worthy still. Okay, no matter how difficult it is. That's the dare almost, like how much dare you can have in your life is determines your future success magnitude. The more dare you have, like your vision is bigger, and then it's worthy, and then if you can believe in it, and then if you persevere, and then you go through process in a roundabout way like a snake, but then eventually that's a right path. And you really have to also not to get into this like delusional mindset. You have to actually measure your progress. Whatever you go like this or something, if you're progressing, you will see some results. So be open eyes of your results, and then if it really bad, right, then just reflect on yourself what you're doing it wrong. Okay, don't say like you don't want to be like extreme. Okay, I'm making mistakes all the time, so I'm getting somewhere. No, you're not. Okay, if you're not seeing the progress, a lot of times you're not possibly ready, or your basics is too weak, or that's not, unfortunately, you don't have that talent. It's a tough realization. Just because you have talent, it doesn't quite align what you want and then your talent. Okay, this is the difficulty. So it's actually pretty smart. Some people do the strategies like they try out a lot of different things, and they see what you are good at, right? So you are not deluding yourself, right? You're doing something you're good at, so there is already a talent here attached to it, and then you just kind of keep going with it. That's a great strategy, rather than thinking, oh, I have like this type of talent. Like you imagine yourself, and then try to force yourself to use that talent, but then somehow whatever you do doesn't require your talent, and that's mismatch. So figure it out. Do a little bit of try and error. And how about the burning out? If you're burning out, like it's time to quit. So there's a different type of burnout, right? That some people say like there is no burnout as long as you do what you love. Yeah, that's true, because if you start doing something that you really love, then it becomes like a play. It's like you're entering into a game. That's actually an ideal place that everyone wants to go, but it's hard because you got to make money, you got to sustain yourself, and at the same time you got to enjoy yourself. It's definitely achievable, and then should strive for it. until you get there. But then other type of business, just the diligence and then do the right thing responsibly. That's entirely valid living. So if you get burned out, as I said, a lot of times your core value is not aligned. It means it's like your mind is not there anymore. Your spirit is not nourished because whatever you do is not really what you really value. So for instance, you are just doing this for money. You got enough money already. You don't want to do it anymore. It's just a waste of time, right? So that type of things, it's best to avoid to do that type of behavior, right? So making sure that you have the right value system in your life, and then that things aligns what you do, and it just kind of keep going with that sort of authenticity is necessary. I mean, delusional authenticity is not good, but what I'm trying to say is like think about it and then make sure that in the based on the practicality, but then incorporate your authenticity with your value. But then if it's completely matches, then definitely I would say life is too short to stick in something that you don't value. Okay, so it might be a good signal. Just leave. But then if it's just like you get tired, or you got disappointed or whatever, right? But then you still have that value. You still know that this is a worthy things that you're doing. Then don't quit. So really, by intelligently choosing when to quit or what to quit, how soon you're going to quit, right? I mean, if you don't quit, then you're going to stuck in the same place. In a sense, like let's say you climb up the corporate ladder, you're quitting the previous position. So quitting is actually not necessarily a bad thing at all. It actually creates the new opportunities. But then you got to do it intelligently. Otherwise, you're gonna go kind of quit and then start from the bottom and then do it again and do it again, and then like a life just doesn't go adds up, so to speak. So, but then if you can make right type of quitting, right type of staying on the course, then you're making the best option in your life, and then that's basically how the success is being made. And then with this framework, this decision-making framework of when to quit or not, will, in a sense, transform your the future through the thinking patterns or behavior patterns down the road. Thank you for watching. Please share your ideas in the comment section below to help each other, and hit like and the subscribe buttons so you get notified of the next video. See you next time.